everyone on YouTube and Facebook, and then I have the comments here. All right, everyone. Hey, it's Mallory. Allison's at the airport right now because she's actually going to Iceland, and she's gonna go have fun without me, but that's fine. But right now, I have my friend Daniel from Celebrity Cruises. We are gonna go over some 2027 Eclipse cruises that are going on. I know we got two going on, and then we're going to talk about that. So, Daniel, if you want to introduce yourself, I'll load up your slides.
All right, great. Thanks for having me on. It's great to be able to be here to talk to everyone about a little bit of what we have to offer. My name is Daniel Neely. I am the inside sales manager for Celebrity Cruises, and I think we're all up. So I'm going to go ahead and I can get started, right?
Yep. You
All
can
right.
get
So
started, and then I'll pop on at the end with some questions I might
yeah.
have and some questions from the group. So,
All right.
take it
Yeah.
away.
So I do talk fast. I don't know if there's any way to slow that down. I will, but I do repeat myself quite often. So most likely you're going to catch it again. If you have any questions, put it in the chat, or you can reach out to Mallory and I'll get those answered. I can also share the presentation with her if you want a copy of it at any time. All right. So today the agenda, let's see if it's going, there we go. So agenda, we're going to talk a little bit about the Ascent and the Excel 2027 Solar Eclipse Cruise. And then I'll tell you a little bit about the Edge class. Excel is part of the Edge class, so I'll speak a little bit about what is new on the Excel and what kind of separates it from our Edge class, which Ascent is part of the Edge class also. I will talk a little bit about the accommodations and a few of our most common accommodations because we get a lot of questions on that, and then open it up for question and answers at the end. So let's talk about the the two groups that we have that Mallory has set up here. We have the Celebrity Excel, which is leaving on July 31st, 2027. This is a 7-night Spain and Morocco solar eclipse. When she says eclipse, it always makes me think it's one of our we have a ship named Eclipse. So just to designate, it's the solar eclipse cruise, not an eclipse cruise, because that's a separate category ship. So this is solar eclipse. I have the group number here, but it's going to be a 7-night cruise. You're going to get 6 ports of call and 1 sea day. This will be a round trip out of Barcelona, Spain. You'll hit Palma de Mallorca at sea for the solar eclipse, over to Tangier, Morocco, Seville, Cadiz, Spain, into Malaga, Spain, Ibiza, Spain, and then back to Barcelona. So I would like to say this is kind of like the best of Spain with a stop in Morocco. So it's a really great cruise. You know, a quick tip: I actually did my honeymoon in Spain, so I went to many of these destinations, and you're gonna love it. It's a great itinerary and a great ship to do that on. Next will be the Celebrity Ascent. If you want a little more time in Europe and a little bit varied destination, then this will be a great cruise with our Celebrity Ascent. It was our all new before Excel came out and kind of stole her thunder, but this one will go out July 26, 2027. It's 11 nights from Italy, Spain, solar eclipse cruise. The two group numbers that Mallory has reserved are there on the screen. It will be 11-night cruise, 8 ports of call again, with 3 sea days, so a little more time to relax and enjoy the ship on this one. It's a round trip out of Rome, which is Civitavecchia is the port that we use for our Rome destination, over into Florence, Pisa, into Portofino, Italy, a day at sea to rest and recharge, because if you've ever been on a European cruise, there is a lot to do and a lot of walking in Europe. So you'll need that time to rest and recharge. Over into Barcelona, Spain, into Cartagena, over into Malaga again. Solar eclipse cruise at sea on day 8. Cagliari, Sardinia, day 9, into Palermo, Sicily, and again another day to rest and recharge before you return to Rome. And Rome is one of those destinations you're definitely going to want to do either a stay before or stay after, because there is so much to see on that destination. Also, so these are great itineraries on great ships. So much to see, along with that highlight of the solar eclipse cruise. Solar eclipse which you know, I don't know all the facts, but I did read earlier it's going to be the longest solar eclipse or something like that to view until something like year 2114. So you guys are definitely going to see something unique in our lifetimes. All right, so let's talk a little bit here. What's included in your group cruise fare? So what we say is standard group cruise fare. That's going to include the accommodations, which whichever accommodation category that you choose to go in. Group rates, when you book directly into a group rate, it's a standard group rate is a refundable deposit. So all of our group rates that are directly into that group will be considered a refundable deposit. It's going to include all included. Our groups are all included with the basic drinks and basic Wi-Fi. So then you're going to get meals at all of our complimentary venues, theaters, and shows. You'll get casino entry. I personally own stock, so if you would like to donate when you go into that casino, I am completely up for it. We will take all the donations you would like, and then we get the fitness center. You can, you know, access into our fitness center, sun decks and pools, live music, bars and lounges throughout the day, throughout many venues on board, kids clubs, if you're going to take kids on board with you, daytime activities, arts expositions, and we also have ice cream. So ice cream's included. The only thing that's not included is gelato. If you are one of our Captain Club members, though, depending on your tier, you may have a scoop of gelato for free. So check on board to see your Captain's Club tier. All right. So the Celebrity Edge series is going to include the Edge, the Apex, the Beyond, the Ascent, the Excel, and to come in 2028 will be the Excite. Now, Edge, Apex, Beyond, Ascent, I kind of the next venues and areas, I kind of blended those three together because this will be the same on all the ships. Excel will have a few unique spaces on there, 7 to be exact, and I'll talk about that a little more. But all the main venues that are going to be on the Edge class will also be part of the Excel and Excite. So your grand ballroom and, you know, your 4 main dining areas, some of those the rooftop garden, the sun deck. I'm sorry, the you know, the sunset bar. There you go, sunset bar in the back. All those are going to be included in the Excel, just like they are in the rest of the Edge class. So let's show you some of those venues. These are some of the new venues that we've added to our Edge class. In the top left here, we have our theater. One of the unique things about our theater is it has a 180-degree digital screen. So this is really creates an immersive experience when you go and see our award-winning shows, which, you know, kind of a pro tip is make sure you go early for the shows if these do book out, and the seats are do fill up. So make sure you go a little bit early when a resale. But to go visit our shows on board, you have in the center top here, this is our club. The club on board. This have venue daily activities throughout the day, along with dancing. This is a place to go dance and party in the evening. And at the top of the club, we're going to have that's a 24-hour venue attic at the club on the new Excel. So I'll show you pictures more of that in a little bit. In the Eden, in the rear here, this is what really separates the Edge class from Excel. Is on the top right here, we have a picture of the Eden. This area becomes the bazaar. On the Edge class, the traditional Edge class, this is a great place to see. Again, it's going to be one of our show venues. So in the afternoon, you're going to see shows. They kind of offset between the theater and the Edge, back and forth across the ship. You'll have one show starting and then one show finishing, et cetera, et cetera. So you can kind of go back and forth and see shows throughout the evening, along with daily activities and a nice place to hang out. Again, in the bottom center here, this is our magic carpet, which is where we get the Edge kind of gets its name. All right, so this is specific to the Ascent. These are a few pictures of the actual Ascent. You have in the top left here, this is our resorts deck, pool deck. You got the rooftop garden, and I put a picture of the grand ballroom because the grand ballroom is a little different on the Ascent. We did add some extra details in the grand ballroom. If you've sailed on our other Edge class, you'll notice that whenever you're on board. Here's some public venues again on our other Edge class ships. The Grand Plaza, the Magic Carpet, along with the Rooftop Terrace. The Rooftop Terrace is if you're a pickleball player and you want to play pickleball on board, we have that available, and that would be in the Rooftop Garden on our Edge class. Here in the top left, these are some of the dining venues on board. The blue on Apex, I will talk more about the blue. This is the main dining room for our Alpha class guest. At the bottom here is a specialty dining Eden, which is on the rear of the Eden area. A specialty dining menu on our traditional Edge class. This becomes a mosaic on Excel. And here in the top right is the Cypress on Edge, which is one of our 4 main themed dining rooms, which I will talk a little bit more now. So one of the very unique things about the Edge class ship is that we've taken, if you've sailed on a traditional cruise before, you have that grand dining room in the rear of the ship. And it's like multi-levels and it's one big open space, kind of see everyone eating at one time. We've really taken that idea. We've really taken and we scrapped that on the Edge series, and we've had so much success with our specialty dining. We wanted to go ahead and take some of the specialty dining venues from our earlier ships and incorporate those into our main dining rooms on the Edge class. So we've created 4 distinct main dining rooms. Each one of them are themed restaurants, and they have a theme, their own kind of decor, along with about 30% of each of these 4 restaurants have a menu that is specifically for that restaurant and for that theme. It doesn't mean you have to dine in that dining room to get that menu. You can get it from any of the other 4, but it's really kind of designed around that. And here we have Cyprus in the top left. That's our Mediterranean themed restaurant. Again, it has Mediterranean appetizers, Mediterranean main dining, along with a Mediterranean dessert, and even a specialty cocktail that's really designed around the theme of the Mediterranean. On the top right, Normandy. Normandy is our French cuisine. Same idea. 30% of the menu is going to be based around the French. The other 70%, 70% of the menu is going to be the same in all 4 restaurants. It's what we call our classic menu, along with a rotating daily menu that would be available in all of them on their standard menu. In the bottom left is our Cosmopolitan restaurant, which is our Nuevo cuisine, and the right is Tuscan, our Italian restaurant. If you do get assigned to Cyprus and you say, hey, I would really like Italian today, you can just ask your waiter for the menu from the Tuscan, and you would have access to all the Tuscan themed, for instance, in this scenario, Tuscan theme menu options within the Cypress. So it just creates that atmosphere of it really elevates the atmosphere. You feel like you're in a specialty dining. You feel like you're getting kind of that service you would get whenever you go into a specialty dining restaurant. It feels more quaint, a little more cozy. The way the theme, whenever you go into these restaurants, you'll see the way the decor is set up. You kind of don't see the whole room all at once. So it really takes that idea of a grand ballroom, grand dining room, and takes it into a more cozy, more boutique feel. So, all right. Now on the Excel, we didn't find your happy place, we built it. So with all new Excel, we've added in, is it going to go to the next slide? Give it a second. Stuck here on me. So there we go. So we've added in 7 new experiences, and these experiences on the left here, these kind of tease at the experiences. We've added in the bazaar. We've added in a new arcade area in the club that I spoke about earlier. In the top of the club, we're going to have the attic at the club. So not only is it a great place to view and kind of look over at the theaters and shows the shows and venues that we've added into the club on the Excel, and experiences, but you're going to get a 24-hour kind of game room if you want to go in and play darts, play pool, etc. And there's some other games. I believe Pac-Man, if I remember correctly. Don't quote me on that one, but we have some games and arcade style venues there at the attic of the club. So a great place to come in and hang out. In the center here, we have our new flagship store. The flagship store is part store, part museum, and part interactive experience. So it's just a great place to go in and not only view more information about our ships and where we sail and what's going on in this interactive computer screen, along with seeing the history of Royal Caribbean Group and Celebrity Cruises, kind of from our beginning to where we are. Along with a flagship store. So in the middle here, you have the Fish, which is kind of play towards Bora, our new alfresco dining venue. I'll speak a little more about. And we have redesigned the pool deck, which we're going to call the pool club. So we've redesigned the pool area to just make it a better feel and flow, along with all new drinks and new service and new shows and excitement and dancing, etc. So we've improved that area. And finally, here on the right, we have upgraded our thermal suites with a few new spaces. This specific venue, which with the water wall, and it's a relaxation area that was really highly requested by our guests. So we've added that. And at the end, we have a place called If You Know, You Know. This is this kind of secret venue that you'll learn more about whenever you get on board. All right, so Bora, I spoke a little bit about Bora. Bora, this is where we're taking brunch to the roof at our all new alfresco restaurant. Bora is with the best sea views from top of the ship and over the top Bloody Mary bar. This is more than a meal; it's a celebration. Dinner is an intimate and personalized with elevated cocktails and dishes prepared tableside. So this is going to be our all new brunch menu. We're bringing a brunch restaurant on board with Bloody Mary bar, etc. during the day, and it flows into the night with an al fresco upscale dining, Mediterranean dining menu in the evening. So the bazaar is replacing the Eden from our Edge class. This is going to be our all new area where we're stepping into the epicenter of excitement and get swept away by culture, traditions, and festivals of the places you're going to visit. I'm going to speak a little bit more about the bazaar in a second. And Mosaic is our specialty dining restaurant that is replacing Eden. It's in the rear of the bazaar at the bottom. So this is the best way to get a taste of the place, is to do exactly that. And at the Mosaic, you can do it without even stepping off the ship. Our visionary chefs put their spin on all your destination's signature dishes and deliver the world right at your table. So the bazaar is really all about blurring the line between ship and shore. So the bazaar provides authentic local immersion on board with things like celebrate like a local. This is where we've created these new festivals and events throughout the day where we bring live bands and music and festivals and activities and drinks. So destination inspired festivals with local food, drink, live music, and dance. Then we're going to have shop like a local at the market at bazaar. So this is where we're going to shop unique local artisanal merchandise, hand picked by our staff. Some of the best of the things that you'll see all over the ports that you go to will be available in the market at bazaar. So you're going to taste the local favorites with our new Spice Cafe. So it's a complimentary cafe serving local inspired bites along with some drinks inside of the bazaar. And then our chef studio. So you can master the local favorites, where you have an option to take part in the chef studio and savor the local favorites at the Mosaic. Like I said, these are really destination inspired menu that is designed by our chefs on board to really taste some of the destinations that you're going to stop at and the ports that you're going to be at, taste the best of their local favorites. All right. So and in this one, I put this here so you can kind of see the bazaar. So in the top left here, you got the bazaar tunnel. And really, what this is like, whenever you're on board, we designed it so you can kind of get the feel like you're leaving the ship. This is kind of your you're moving through the ship and you're moving out to shore. So you're going to go through the bazaar tunnel, and that's going to lead into the middle bottom here, which is the market at the bazaar. That's kind of have the idea like you just got off the ship and you're at the little, you're at port with all the markets and all the little things, all the vendors that you get whenever you go to each one of your port destinations. So this is going to have all those little merchandise and little things that you're going to see at port. And then from there, you're going to actually once you leave Market Bazaar, you're going into the bazaar, and this is like you've reached port, right? So you're really at the destination, and you're going to see festivals and music and dancing and food and all the things that you would expect once you get ashore. So this is where we're blurring the lines. And at the top right here, this is the Spice Cafe I was speaking about. So this is one of my favorite new places to go on board. It has all your local local little bites and small bites. Like whenever I was in the Caribbean, you got tres leches and some churrasco and things of that nature. So anyways, with some drinks, etc. And then when you're in the Mediterranean, I'm sure they'll have the Mediterranean dishes from the local destination. And then in the bottom here on the left, that's the Mosaic. So this is the specialty dining, really based around the destination ports. All right, so let's get into the accommodations. Doing pretty good on time. All right, so we're getting into the accommodations. This is really going to talk about 3 of our unique, our different tiers of staterooms we have here and categories. So let's talk about the retreat experience. So one thing, retreat is our suites. So, and if you get into the suite class with us, then you're in the retreat. So with that retreat, you're going to get access to an exclusive retreat sun decks. This is a dedicated outdoor area featuring plush lounge chairs, a private plunge pool or hot tub, dedicated attendants. They'll bring snacks, drinks, towels, along with different activities throughout the sailing. You're going to be available exclusively to retreat guests in their own area known as the retreat sun deck. And then another area that the retreat guests have access to would be the retreat lounge. This is an exclusive lounge offering complimentary beverages, daily gourmet bites, dedicated concierge service that can help with things such as spa appointments, dinner reservations, shore excursions, etc. Along with, there will be events throughout the sailing available in the retreat exclusively for the retreat guests. And finally, we have the Luminae. The Luminae is the main dining room for the retreat guests. Retreat guests have access to the Luminae. They also have access to the four regular main dining rooms if they choose to eat in that area. But the Luminae is the main dining area exclusively for the retreat guests. It's a private restaurant that serves up exclusive menus you won't find anywhere else on board, including new complimentary signature dishes designed by our global culinary ambassador, Daniel Blude. And this is going to be open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So some of the other amenities that are available whenever you stay into one of our suite categories, you're going to get amenities such as all suites are going to be with premium drinks and premium Wi-Fi. So as soon as you book into a retreat category, our all included is basic Wi-Fi. Such as when you book with your group rate, you get all included basic Wi-Fi and basic drink package. You'll get the premium Wi-Fi and premium drink packages being part of our suite category. So another thing is the service. So all of our suite rooms, they're going to enjoy the retreat's unmatched luxury and dedicated butler service. This can assist with all your needs, including packing, making reservations, planning your activities ashore, and much more. And this doesn't start when you're on board. As soon as you book into the retreat, you have access to a phone line that it goes straight to our retreat service line for retreat guests, and you can even start making reservations and planning your activities even before you leave the shore. All right, so food and drink. So depending on what suite category you're in, you have the ability to savor full in-suite breakfast, lunch, dinner service. You're going to get complimentary stocked minibar, afternoon tea, and daily delights. The way I say is, if you have a dining room table, then you can have a full dining setup right in your suite category. All right, so the Aqua class. After the retreats, probably the most coveted, category that we have on board would be the Aqua class. You're going to hear a lot about, whenever you're sailing, you'll hear a lot of people talking about the Aqua class. This is one of the categories that is most sought after. And whenever you get guests that sail in the Aqua class, they pretty much stick to this class. They'll go into retreat, but they won't go without going into Aqua class. And what is Aqua class? So the Aqua class staterooms, first I'll say that the Edge veranda, the concierge veranda, and the Aqua class veranda or infinite veranda, these are all the same layout and size of the stateroom. So there's no difference in the actual layout and size of an Aqua class stateroom. An A1, let's say, a C1, and an E1, those would all be the same layout and design of the stateroom. What's going to be different is what's included in that stateroom and where it's located on the ship. So, the higher category, usually the higher you are on the ship, and the closer you are to, say, for instance, Aqua class is generally closer to the spa, right? So where it's going to be and what's included. Some of the things that are going to be included with the Aqua class, guests are going to enjoy state-of-the-art infinite private verandas, XL bedding, so you get an upgraded bedding whenever you're into the Aqua class, premium bathrobes, amenities such as massaging shower heads, complimentary fitness classes. That will be fitness classes that are available on your in-room stateroom TV, and you can request with your stateroom attendant. If you're going to take, for instance, a yoga class on your TV, they could bring you yoga equipment. A resistable class can bring you a resistable, can bring you fitness equipment that fits the fitness classes that are available on board on TV. You can request those. All right. So plus you're going to get unlimited access. And this is, one of the things you're going to get unlimited access to your sea thermal suites. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. Complimentary dining at the Blue Restaurant. That would be the main dining restaurant for Aqua Class, and a personal spa concierge. All right, so the Blue. The Blue is again the main dining room for the Aqua Class. This is an exclusive restaurant just for Aqua Class members. The only people that can eat in the Blue would be anyone with Aqua in front of their their stateroom category. So we do have a Aqua Class suite. So we have an Aqua Sky Suite, which would get access to the Blue and to the unlimited use of the thermal suites. And the top 3 tiers of suites, they would also have access to the Blue. So those are the only categories on board that are allowed to dine in the Blue. And by far, this is probably the dining room that I get the most, the most people that this is their favorite. So I hear consistently that the Blue is my guest favorite. So in the Blue, what is the Blue? So you savor an exclusive menu that features clean, crisp flavors, inventive cuisine, complemented by an extensive list of sustainable and biodynamic wines. So this is really a health forward type. Health forward, what we used to say California clean. I don't know that we're using that verbiage anymore. It's more of the clean, crisp flavors, and but this is that category that's more of that style of dining, and it, again, is one of my clients' favorite by far. So now, sea thermal suites. So we have the sea thermal suites on our Edge class, and in the other categories, it will be known as the Persian Garden. This is located within the spa. This is an area where you go and rejuvenate and relax. So in the thermal suites, it has 8 distinct spaces that incorporate different elements of the sea experiences, like a salt room, a float room, a crystallarium. You have, you can see here at the bottom in the center, there's these heated beds. You go in and you can kind of relax on these areas. These are heated lounge areas. You have lounge chairs that has been replaced on the Excel with the the water wall that we said earlier. I'm trying to remember the name of it. Sorry, I apologize. Along with, you have like a sauna and et cetera, et cetera. So this area is going to be unlimited access. Well, will be complimentary access for our Aqua Class guests, along with in the front. I don't know if you see in the bottom here, the loungers in front of there, we've added a vitamin D deck. So also, if you're in that area and you would like to sit outside and sunbathe there, in that exclusive area just for the thermal suite guests, that's available also whenever you're in this area. So the other guests on board can go into this area. They could purchase a day pass or purchase a multi-day pass. So it is something that you can purchase if you're not staying in the Aqua Class, but it will be included with the Aqua Class. All right, so concierge class. And again, in the concierge class staterooms, as I said before, the infinite veranda, regular veranda, concierge, and Aqua Class, depending on your category number, A1, C1, E1, those will be the same size layout of the stateroom. Is just where it's located and what's included with it. So our concierge class staterooms are even better, featuring new services and amenities and exclusive events. So with the concierge class, you do get additional services, amenities, and exclusive events. Some of these, just to mention a few, such as a welcome aboard concierge class lunch that's exclusive to the concierge class. You get a welcome sparkling wine. You may need to request that with your stateroom attendant or once you're on board, and a daily delectable delight that will be delivered to your stateroom. As a concierge class guest, your team of dedicated professionals will take care of all your vacation needs. All right, and I think that covers all of my accommodations. And there are some other little, upgrades in the concierge, where there's things like you would get a bag to use whenever you're at port. You get binoculars. This is where you would start with robes. And your room starts in the concierge class. So there's little amenities, and you can see our catalog, our category for that. All right, so that's everything I have as far as the presentation. I just want to say I'm going to open up, for everyone for coming on and viewing this and for having me here. I'm going to go ahead and open up for Mallory a special offer. This is going to be, if you book a new reservation between today, 7/8, and 7/20, we're going to receive an extra onboard credit. So per stateroom for a 10-hour event, that onboard credit will be $100 onboard credit. That's per stateroom, and it's available for veranda and above staterooms. This is only available through Mallory, and it must be redeemed through me. So you couldn't call in to reservation, and you wouldn't get that. You would need to book through Mallory, and she would need to let me know, and I'm going to have to manually add this in the background. So with that, I will open it up for any questions that you have.
I had to change my name because I couldn't see my face.
All right.
All right. Well, I do have a question. I am going on my second celebrity cruise in August for the 2026 Eclipse, and I'm doing aqua class, and I want to know what these daily delights are. Like, what should I anticipate?
So a daily delectable light, what that is, it's usually where they're gonna deliver something to your stateroom, such as macaroons. Maybe on one day you may get some candies or chocolate covered strawberries. On another day there may be some other exclusive option, but it's something similar to that. Those sort of kind of sweets and treats would be delivered daily to the stateroom. Usually, whenever you come in, whenever you go to dinner and you come back and you have like a chocolate and a
Mhm.
pillow, pillow animal, so something like that. So usually you'll come in and you'll have a little sweet treat in your room, and that's what the daily delectable delights would be.
If celebrity could make a chocolate pillow animal, I'd be so happy, but I know you meant chocolates on my pillow.
Yeah, chocolates on your pillow and a pillow animal. Yes, two separate. Right.
Oh my gosh, you should pitch that to corporate. Be like, we need chocolate pillow animals, and like see what happens. All chaos will ensue.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And so for those who are interested in aqua class, so I am testing it out for our clients for the first time because research. The first celebrity cruise that we did was on the Celebrity Beyond, and so we got the thermal pass, and so we loved that. And so when we were looking at the pricing between infant veranda, concierge, and aqua class, we really liked that we get that private dining room, and then the aqua class, the spa amenities, and then I recently just got a little email so I could pick out. I picked a yoga mat, a weighted blanket, and some weights to be in my room. So we'll see. It's gonna be exciting. I'm excited about those like online fitness classes.
Yeah. Great to hear. Great to hear. And
Yeah.
like, as I said, I mean, just for the dining room, it's worth the upgrade. Again, like I said, that alone is by far the thing I hear all the time.
Yeah.
That.
Well, and like not to say anything against all of our other partners, I really enjoyed the food on Celebrity. I really liked we're not big buffet people, but I liked the buffet when I was on the Beyond, so it's gonna be interesting for the
Mhm.
Silhouette because that's a different class of ship, but we're gonna be on the Ascent in 2027 too. Also. And then I did like the whole main dining room situation that y'all had where if you wanted to order off the other menu, you could. It was
Mhm.
easy. Everything was just very easy with dining. I believe we did like celebrity select. So we made reservations each night, and then Allie sent out a email to all of the group about how when we were on the Celebrity Beyond a couple of years ago, we accidentally, I don't know, our specialty dining got messed up due to our own fault. Someone invited us to dinner, so then we had to cancel. So then we booked the garden view, but then it was raining, and so then they canceled that. So then I had all this money, and then somehow I ended up in Le Voyage, and it was like the best meal.
Oh yeah, well yeah. So Le Voyage is a whole new level. So I didn't talk about that, but that's a different level, and it's really an experience, right? So
Oh yeah.
I mean, just the regular menu is amazing, but again, in your pre-cruise planner, I didn't get all into that due to time, but in your pre-cruise planner, if you can go and book the chef, the chef menu, which is in Le Voyage, that's really one of the best experiences on board.
Oh, it was just so funny because we walked in, they're like, "Hello, Miss Mallory and Allison." We're like, "Oh gosh, what did we sign
Oh
up
yeah,
for?"
yeah,
But it was like a very, very happy accident to do that. It was so great.
yeah.
Let's see. Okay, I got some questions in the chat. Let's pull them up. Bless you.
Yeah.
Okay, I can answer this one. Are there any more spots left for 2026? So I poked around for Iceland. I only saw two guaranteed cabins left. I didn't look at the Mediterranean one, so there might be. So if you can book that airfare, because I know airfare is crazy right now. If you can book that airfare and you want to get on that 2026 celebrity cruise, you got like less than a month because my Iceland cruise leaves August 8th.
Yeah, it's very close, right?
It's so close. But you can make it happen. We got a total eclipse to see. Do, do, do. Does celebrity have any kind of like backup plans if the weather is poor?
So the captain really runs the ship, and it's his decision. Like, he is going, I've had this question earlier, and we did reach out to the ship, and the response was the captain's going to do everything he can to get the ship into the best viewing space possible. We're really at the mercy of the waves and the current, right? So, and the weather. So he will not put us in any place where it's going to put us in danger just to get it viewing, but he will do his best to get it into the best possible viewing area that he can. And, the good thing is that there is a wide angle to view the solar eclipse from, so there is a lot of areas. One unique thing to Royal Caribbean Group is every ship has a meteorologist. I don't know if kind of knew that. So we have someone constantly monitoring the weather along with the shore side. We have somebody constantly monitoring the weather and trying to steer us around bad weather and clouds and all those sort of things. So he will do his best to get us into the best viewing angle possible.
I didn't know about that. I'm really
Yeah.
excited about that.
Yeah.
This one's funny. What's that orange thing on the
The orange thing? Oh, so that's going to be the edge. So that's the magic carpet, and that's really where we get the name of the edge, right, class? Is that this is the bar that hangs over the ship. Whenever you're in port, generally when you're in port and whenever the ship is sailing at a low speed, it would go up to the top deck. It would either be part of the pool deck or part of the track, and then it's an open venue for everyone to come in, and it's an open bar venue, place to go and view from. Whenever we're going fast, the weather's or in the afternoon, it goes down to deck 5 and it becomes part of Raw and 5. It becomes its own specialty dining venue. So it's a dining venue you can request. So it's in the evenings, and again whenever we're going a little more briskly in the sailing.
I do have to say on the Beyond, that's where like that place, and then the Martini bar was where everybody was.
Yeah, the martini bar tends to be kind of that because you have every night. So another thing on the edge class, so there's specific times they do the flash bartending, which is kind of maybe every commercial where you see them pour all the martini shots at one time. That's actually timed to be right in between the theater show and the Eden or the Bazaar show. So as you're walking through, like as one ends, you're walking through, it's really timed that you can stop and view the flash bartending as you're going in. And we have multiple times for the shows, so it's like I said, one ends and one begins, so everyone's kind of briskly walking through. They get to see flash dining and then they're over, or flash bartending and then they're over, right? So yeah.
Now I only got to catch it. I think I caught it once because when we were on the Beyond, it was part of a conference and they kept us busy, and all I wanted to do was hang out and see all the pretty stuff on the ship.
Yeah. Well, normally when you're on board with me, I kind of tend to hang out in the martini bar. So
Yeah.
it's kind of the center of everything. All the people.
Yeah. All right. You went over the retreat.
Mm-hmm.
So we can send that also in the follow-up email. We have a lot of information about the retreat. So if you want like your traditional suite, that is what Celebrity calls the retreat. And it's such a great perk that you get the premium Wi-Fi and premium drinks. Whereas when you're booking in our group rate for something that's not in a suite, because we don't hold suites in our group rate, but we're more than happy to sell them. You get classic Wi-Fi and classic drinks. And so those are easily upgraded in your app. And I always upgrade because we like Maker's Mark.
Yeah.
That's been a couple of our clients are going to be on the Ascent with us. And when I told him that, he's like, oh, well, I'm upgrading because that's the only one I drink. All right. between the two itineraries, so we have an 11-day and a 7-day. Which one do you think is better for a first-time cruiser?
I mean, so I will really say because 11 the 11 day and the 7 day, they're going to be similar as far as days at port, right? Like you're going to have the same amount of days at port. Um, the 7 day may be a little more hectic because it's like every day is busy, right? Like you're literally hitting when you go to Europe. So Europe's a lot different than the Caribbean and
Yeah.
some of the other places because you kind of rest at shore in some of those destinations where even Mexico and some of those areas. When you're in Europe, Europe is a very long, exhausting day because there is a lot. There's so much to see, and from the time I say get off the ship as early as you can and stay out until as late as you can without missing the boat, right? Like there is just so much to see and so much to do and so much walking and Europe. And so it can be a long day, right? So the 11 nights really nice because you have those breaks in between, where you can take those days and listen, don't be afraid just to sleep in, right? Like I know you don't want to miss everything, but your body's not going to make it because it's way more activity than we're used to in a day. So that's
Oh,
all
yeah.
I would say is the 11 days really nice because of those breaks. And you also, it's quite a travel to get there and get back from Europe for us. The 7 night is if that's what you can do, because a lot of us can only get 7 days off, right? So if that's what you do it. And I would say you're not going to you're not missing out on either. It's just that's a very active cruise, if that makes sense. Hopefully that covered it well.
Yeah. And I know like a lot of people are waiting until like the flights come available. So the flights aren't available until 331 days before like the end of the cruise. So be able to know those days off. And what I recommend to everyone is definitely try to do 2 or 3 if you can days before getting onto the ship. Because like we have done a couple of Mediterranean cruises, and the first one we did, we got to Barcelona 3 days before. I mean, I have a video of my mom and my sister sleeping during the muster drill. It was hilarious.
Yeah,
Because it's just like that time zone, and then you're going, and then you finally like sit down and you're like, I'm just gonna take a little nap right now. But
yeah. Yeah. So good
yeah,
thing in celebrity, we don't have muster drills, right? You
yep,
do it
I
before
know.
and you just check you out. But yeah, that's what I was saying. And not only that, like these destinations you're going to, the
Hmm.
embarkation ports are just, they're, you know, literally two of my favorite places in Europe are Barcelona and Rome, right? Like there's
Yep.
just so much to see and so much to do. And I'm from Miami, and we have like Lincoln Road, and then you have the Las Ramblas, and I eat dinner at like 10, 11 o'clock at night. So that's like my people right there. Like you're there, you're there. There's like literally, you're going to see like, babies walking around at midnight in the Las Ramblas while you're like having dinner, you're eating. It's a place to do so much and stay up late. In Rome, when I went to Rome, I was there at like 3 in the morning with my kids in a stroller, and they had like a free concert in the
Yep.
middle, right next to the Trevi Fountain. And it's literally packed with, it's like New York, like it's literally packed with people. Everyone's got little kids playing soccer in the street. It's like 3 in the morning, right? So those are places that there's a lot to do. So I highly recommend you do it before and post, however you got to do it to experience those destinations.
Oh yeah. 100%. All right, let's see if there's any other questions in the chat. We went over retreat. All right. I think we have all of the questions that were submitted. Let me just check one more spot. Yep. So I think we have all of that. So if you want to go back to the slide with the promo just so people can get one last look of that, of what we're offering. Let me take
Yeah,
this
I'll send it.
off. Perfect. And our deadline for that is July 20th,
Mhm.
which is a day. Monday, July 20th. Perfect. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna send out a follow-up email to everyone who signed up, and we'll send a follow-up email to everyone in the Facebook group just so you can have this information. I know we already have a good number of travelers that are traveling, so we're super excited about that. But if you are on the fence between now and July 20th is the time to get in touch with me for that extra onboard credit and that group space. And I do want to stress that even though we do have this amazing priced group space, it can be recalled at any time. And just for a timeline for the 2026 the Iceland cruise, that was recalled slash sold out. So it was like more like sold out than recalled in October. So, people are gearing up for the holidays and they're like, oh, maybe I'll gift this as a gift. Or, once that boat fills up, it's like Hunger Games. Cause I've had people who were like, oh, I really want to go. I'm like, it's all on a wait list. So if it's something that you think you want to do, we have those refundable deposits. The payoff date is March 15th, 2027, and we can do those monthly payments up until that March 15th, when is the final payment. And then from there on is just we'll book your flights and hotel, and then you'll see the eclipse in no time. Alrighty. Well, that's all that we have today. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, Daniel. I hope you had fun.
Yeah, it was great. Thank you. Thanks for having me. I appreciate the time, and hopefully we get a lot of people that get to come on board and experience everything we have to offer.
Perfect. All right. If y'all have any questions, drop them in the Facebook, the YouTube, or email me. And then if it's something I can't answer, I'll reach out to Daniel and he'll get the answer to us quickly.
Thank you.
Bye, y'all.